Let's journey into another world and another language that comes along with it. Welcome to A Runner Does Music, where today we're looking at a commission from my friend Maeve, this time being the band Faun with their album Midgard. This is one of the more interesting reviews I've done on the channel, with it not just being a foreign album compared to my usual taste, literally metaphorically, but being specifically a German band with roots in folk music and an overall more mesmerizing vibe than the usual angry metal and rebellious punk I listen to. The vibes are tuned down for the most part, but there's an undeniable strength to be found in this musical venture, so let's talk about it. Underneath the different language, there's a lot of commonality in themes throughout the album, with a sort of long-gone epic vibe being found in the lyrics all throughout it. I'm not going to pretend for a moment to be able to speak a hint of the language here, but from some questioning of my friend who speaks the language as well as my own attempts at translating, I think I've been able to take a look at some of the ongoing themes and stories being told. And it's like sitting at a fire and being told a story that goes on for longer than you even realize. Then when it's all said and done, you're already waiting to hear it again. I'm going to butcher these names, so just bear with me. Faderklade sits as the most popular song on the album online, and when I checked it out, I could tell why. Amid the dreamy instrumentals, there's a story lying underneath it all about following a metaphorical and possibly literal path into the unknown. Questioning what happens when something like the birds disappear over the horizon, and choosing to follow in suit for the sake of discovery and a better understanding. From a somewhat vague outcry of wanting to follow this path alone, the refrain comes in and proclaims to the listener, asking them to come along on the road in a powerful statement. One song later in Sonarain, this sort of idea continues in a more celebratory approach, feeling like the climax to said journey that was talked about just a moment ago. This dreamy set of lyrics then transitions into some verses and lines about, while transitioning from one season into the next and making a promise of meeting along the line again. I really loved looking at the themes of both journeys and the results of them throughout this album, and this two-song stretch was fascinating to dissect. There's not really any way to talk about the band's style and genre sense without sounding like an online article just for the sake of, again, I don't fully understand the genre, but I'm doing my best to do such. But the folk music with modern dramatic influence is ripe with highlights throughout Midgard. No songs offering more of a moment to reflect and enjoy than the intro piece, Midgard. A brief introduction to the album is a surprising pick for a top track, even for me in a critical sense looking back at it. But this ongoing story from the band is a piece of art, perfected by divisions within the story itself offered by tracks and their sense of placement along the plotline. While Midgard is a good way of introducing the album in terms of setting, genre, and overall grandeur, I think the proper middle part is when you get a moment of reprieve that manages to stay away from slowing momentum down as well. The song that does this so well is Macbeth, the seventh song on the album that switches from an overall hopeful and oftentimes heroic tone to a more somber one built on reflection. The obvious connections in the title of the song and the verses to the Shakespearean play help usher in the darker song, with the chorus specifically going over death and the silence one finds in it, without a physical or metaphorical heart to be found. I've always loved sadder songs in this realm of music, and to see it amid the general upbeat and familial tone throughout the album was a welcome addition. This was a nice pause in between metal, pop, and other things, and I really enjoyed my time with this album and taking a look at a truly unique piece of music. While I'm not able to 100% critique it to the level of other albums due to an overall lack of knowledge about the language and 100% correct lyrics, I'd like to think that I took some time with it and had a good amount of confidence that this album is some proper, good as shit folk music, sure to make you forget your worries. So, for these reasons, Midgard by Faun gets a 7 out of 10, and that's the review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. This was a commission, as I said, and if you want to get a commission of your own here on the channel, all you gotta do is get to me in DMs somehow. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, God forbid. Find me, let's talk, let's get something going. Hope you're having a good day, hope you're staying hydrated. I'll see you next time.